Welcome back to WSAV News 3 today at 11. Their mission is to create transformative experiences for people with different abilities and their families, changing communities for the better. Extra Special People Incorporated, or ESP, is fairly new to Savannah, but the organization has been impacting lives across our region for the past 40 years. Laura Hope Whitaker is the CEO of ESP and the author of the USA Today bestseller, The Joy Exchange. She joins us now along with actor, motivational speaker, advocate, model, and so much more. Lily Moore, I know she is exhausted. You both are. Thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you joining us.
Well, thank you for having us. It's great to be in Savannah.
It is.
Well, speaking of Savannah, this organization was founded in Athens, where Lily, you now live. 40 years ago, you just started the organization up here last year. Tell us about the journey, the evolution, and why you decided to expand to our area.
Yeah, it's such a great story. So as we're celebrating our 40th birthday tomorrow here in Savannah, it was started by a woman named Martha Wiley, who saw that people with disabilities didn't have the same opportunities, particularly during the summer, as typical individuals. And so she started a summer camp for people with developmental disabilities 40 years ago. And that has grown. We now serve over 800 families in Athens and the Northeast Georgia area. And a few years ago, two amazing women, Becky Brown and Anna Salter, came to Athens. They own a Coastal Pediatric Therapies, and they saw that their patients didn't have those same opportunities. We now do summer camp, after school programming, family support, employment through Java Joy. And they saw their patients didn't have that. They couldn't refer their patients to anything. And so they said, we want to start ESP in Savannah, Georgia. Both of them being from Savannah, and just had a heart to do that outside of their job. So they got to work. They pulled together an amazing team of people. They started fundraising. And here we are today, a year and a half in. ESP is thriving, serving over 150 members in the Savannah area and growing. And we are in the middle of summer camp right now.
And speaking of incredible, Lily, your journey with this organization, you're actually employed and you travel talking about what you do. Tell us about your experience.
Yeah, it's been a really cool experience. Not only am I a participant with ESP, which I've been for over a decade, then I was able to transition from that to on staff now. Has been really cool just to really expand my resume, and has helped me step out of my comfort zone and able to travel more, which has been a really fun thing to do.
I can imagine. And so Facebook stalking is what I do once I know that guests are here. So I looked at your Facebook page and you said that, and here's a quote: working with ESP has changed my life in so many ways through traveling, speaking, and meeting families from all over. I've learned how powerful it can be to simply share your story and be yourself.
Yes.
What does that mean to you?
For me, I think it's just really important for not only the communities that we do serve, but for other communities that don't have an ESP to know and to kind of like experience through social media on what we do and how our mission is. And I think it's important. I think it's important for those other places to hopefully want an ESP.
Yes. Speaking of ESP, when you walked in, both of you, into the studio, we talked with our news director briefly because you had a group of young people who came to visit us last year with Java Joy. What is that?
So Java Joy is one of our programs. It's our social enterprise that employs adults with developmental disabilities. We call them Joyristas. So barista plus joy equals a Joyrista. We now employ over 80 individuals with disabilities through Java Joy. And the hope is really to provide opportunities. We go into places and spaces where we kind of interrupt the workday. Like we came here. We came to your place of business. You didn't choose to go to Java Joy.
Yes.
We came to you. And what we have found is that if you go to a place that's comfortable for people, their employment, their school, we serve teachers and churches all the time, they'll have an interaction with someone with a different ability. And maybe they've never had a conversation with someone with Down syndrome or someone with autism or someone in a wheelchair, giving them a hug. Our motto is coffee, hug, enjoy. And so the hug and the physical touch is a really important part of breaking those barriers down. And all the while, we are employing adults with developmental disabilities, which 87% of adults with disabilities who want and can work are unemployed. And I think that's one of the cool things about what Lily does is she advocates. She uses her amazing skills as an actress and advocates for people who are unemployed, who could come into a business like we came into the studio and serve and provide a really incredible service through activating their own abilities. And so Java Joy does just that. It's a catering model. If you're a business out there, we would love for businesses to book Java Joy. They can learn about us on our website, and alongside it, it's advancing our mission to employ people with developmental disabilities.
I love that. And you mentioned briefly Lily's acting career. So let's pivot to that, because folks may know you from your recurring role as Rebecca in the Netflix series Never Have I Ever. I'm sure Rashay knows plenty about that. And for your acting work in Hallmark's Color My World with Love. How did you get into acting? And you do so many things.
I do. So when I was 6 years old, so me and my family, we moved to Europe for about 3 years, and I took a acting class in school over there. Fell in love with it immediately. It was really fun. All my friends were in that class. And then once we moved back to America, my mom signed me up for a lot of workshops and acting classes along the way, kind of learning the ropes of it. And then I did that, and then we found an agent from there, and then technically ever since I've been acting ever since.
Wow, I love that. I love that story. Now let's get to your story, because you're actually an author. You wrote a book that's on the New York Times bestsellers list.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, you know, we just got done with our book tour. We were in 11 cities in 11 weeks, and so this is my partner right here. But yeah, so wrote a book. Never really was a dream of mine, but you know, the longer I've been here, so I started the organization when I was 19. The founder passed away from pancreatic cancer. I was kind of thrown into leadership, and as a 19-year-old, I didn't know what leadership looked like. I didn't know even what life looked like. And now, as I've navigated this world as a mom of 3 children, as a wife, as a community member, as a friend, I've kind of along the way kind of picked up these life lessons. And they're life lessons that didn't come from a textbook, didn't come from a leadership series, it didn't come from someone who's been in leadership for a long time. It came from individuals at ESP. The unexpected teachers in this world that kind of have reminded me about what it looks like to be a human, what it looks like to lean into compassion, what it looks like when something's awkward. I think the world tells us, like, pull back. And the anthem at ESP is lean in. There's aha on the other side of awkward. And so along the way, I had collected these stories, and people kept saying, write a book. And the opportunity came along, and I celebrated my 20th year with the organization and launched a book, and we went on a book tour, and thank the Lord, we were on the USA Today bestseller list, and it's called The Joy Exchange, Finding Life's Greatest Lessons in Those You Least Expect. So it's been a journey.
Bravo.
Yes.
So we have about 30 seconds left, but we do want to tell people how they can find out more about you, because you have a special event going on tomorrow morning beginning at 9 o'clock.
That's right. We want to invite everyone to what we call Friend Friday.
Right. So Friend Friday, if you don't know what that is basically where the community can come out and just experience camp. To see what it's like.
So tomorrow at 9 a.m. at the Coastal Botanical Gardens, Coastal Georgia Botanical Gardens. We'd love to invite you. We're going to have a 40th birthday. We're going to have cake. If you're a mom, a dad out there, you want your kids to be around people of all abilities, this is a great opportunity to lean in. If you're looking for a way to volunteer, to invest in a special mission, you can check us out. Check out our Instagram, ESP Inc. You can check us out on espyoundme.org. On my Instagram, Laura Hope Whitaker, all the details will be there.
And Lily's Facebook page, which I stalk, okay? And so here is the information on your screen. Friend Friday is tomorrow. As Laura just mentioned, 9 a.m. at, you said the Botanical Gardens,
It is
correct?
at the Botanical Gardens,
Okay,
yes.
and that's on Skidaway Road. For more information or to see this interview again, visit our website by visiting wsav.com/community corner. Thank you so much for all you do.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming to
you.
Savannah.
It was fun.
Come back.
Yeah.